Wish you warm welcome. In today's full body video, we'll focus on lengthening and strengthening lower body. I'll be using few props here, a chair and two blocks. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. I will give you an alternative. We'll begin our warm up with spot walk or spot jog. When you are ready, let's start walking or jogging. Engage your arms, relax your face. Any frown lines at forehead, let it go. Relax your jaw, gentle smile on your face. Use that smile to bring your attention to the here and now on the mat in your body. Slowly raise your arms up at the sides. Slowly bring them down. Keep going. One more time. Raise your arms up. Bring them down. Let the arms go up through the front. Extend your fingers. Come down. One more time. The arms go up. Come down. This time, raise only one arm at sideways. Bring it down. Let it go at the front. Bring it down. Opposite arm. Bring it down. Both the arms. Down. At the front. Bring them down. One more time. Keep going. Jog a bit faster if you can. Pause. Next, leg raises at the sides. I will be using my hands on the hips. If that's hand, raising a leg towards the side. If this is too intense, then this is where you use a chair as a support. Any chair at home will do. You're resting your hand on the top bar of the chair and raising a leg towards the side like this. And try to not shift too much weight on the chair, on your hand. You want your foot on the ground, do the maximum work of balancing your body weight. Let's start. Raising a leg at the side, keep going, gently, slow raises. 3, keep breathing. 5, 6, keep pressing that foot well onto the ground when you raise a leg towards the side. Last iteration. Slowly bring your leg on the ground and change. Let's do the opposite side. So if you are using a chair as support, then gentle support from the chair by placing your hand on the top bar of the chair, or it doesn't matter as long as you're getting a support. 4, 5. Observe where your body weight is on the foot which is on the ground. I repeat, observe your body weight on the foot which is on the ground. 7, last 2, 1 and 2. Move the chair aside. Come back to Tadasana with feet hip width apart. Now bring your hands at the front of your face. Now raise your right knee up towards the chest while moving your hands down towards the ground. Okay, I show it once more. Hands at the front of your face. Lift your knee while moving the hands down, just like that Bollywood step. 1, 2, keep going. 1, 2, 1, 2, keep going. 1, 2. Now we'll engage the breath. So when you lift your knee up towards the chest, you exhale. You do it through your nose. I show it through my mouth just to give you better view. You inhale when you bring your leg down towards the ground. So it has to be a slow action to achieve exhalation and inhalation with awareness. Say if you can lift that knee a centimeter more towards your chest, relax your face, Feel like you're dancing, you're doing that Bollywood dance step. Last few iterations here. Let the blood flowing. Let our muscles participate into action. Get them activated. Last iteration. Pause. Back to Tadasana with feet hip width apart. Without looking at your toes, observe if you're curling your toes or letting them extend. See if there is distance between your toes with your mind. Now raise your toes up in the air, let them spread, and then slowly bring them down onto the ground. Release and relax. The last exercise of today's warm-up is a small sequence. Come at the front of your mat and stand in Tadasana with feet hip width apart. Arms at your sides, all the fingers together, including your thumbs. Pay attention to your thumbs and bring them in line with the other fingers. Allow your fingers to gently extend towards the ground. See if they are curling in. If so, let them extend, but don't overstretch. Similarly, what we just did earlier, allow your toes to extend and press your feet evenly onto the ground. Now bring your attention to the breath. Observe inhalation and exhalation. On next inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale and bend forward and bring your hands onto the ground. Inhale and slowly roll your body up. Come back to Tadasana and exhale. Take a normal breath here. We'll repeat this sequence for 4 more rounds. Let's do it. Inhale and raise your arms. Exhale and bend forward. Inhale and roll your body up. Exhale and let it go. Normal breath. Inhale and raise your arms up. Keep going. Now you know the drill. One more time. Pay attention to the breath. One more round. Roll each vertebra at a time, gently. Let your back engage into the activity. Come back to normal breath. Arms straight at the sides, chest lifted. Move your shoulders back and down so that you have wide and broad chest, creating that opening at the front of your chest. Relax your face, release and relax. Come at the center of your mat. From here, we'll practice traditional asana, starting with Veerbhadrasana 2, Warrior Pose 2. Bring your feet together, stand in Tadasana, arms at your sides. Bring your hands to your chest. Observe where the top of your shoulders are. Bring them away from your ears. Create the distance, long neck. Then bend your legs, jump or walk your legs wide apart. Take a longer stance between your legs. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right leg out to the right. I'm mirroring the pose here. That means this is my right, which is same as yours. And lift that back heel and place it all the way back towards the left wall, so that you're turning your back leg in towards the wall on your right. While maintaining this alignment, maintain the torso in the center so that your shoulders are hips on top of each other, not leaning towards the right or left. Bend your front leg to allow your hips to go down. The moment you do this, observe where your knee is. It needs to be in line with your ankle joint. If your knee is passing the ankle joint, then increase the distance between your legs by wiggling your legs. Take a broader stance. Then on exhale, press your foot well onto the ground and come up. Let's do 2 more rounds of this. Inhale and go down. Exhale as you press your foot and come up. Keep going. Relax your face. Relax your shoulders. Let them come down, not hunching them up. One more time. Inhale and go down. Exhale as you come up. Turn your feet in so that your toes are pointing towards the wall at the front. And change. Turn your left foot out towards the 90 degrees on the wall towards the left. Turn your back leg in. Now before you bend your front leg, just observe your left heel. It's supposed to be in line with the arch of your back leg. Okay, if not, just adjust and bend the front leg to go down, come up. You know the drill. This knee is in line with your ankle joint. Keep going. Inhale as you go down. Exhale as you press to come up. Two more times. Inhale as you go down. Exhale as you come up. Last round. When you finish, turn your feet in, bring your hands to your chest, bend your legs, and jump or walk your legs back into Tadasana. So if you have any knee injuries, any leg injuries, then just walk back into Tadasana. Slow progression towards that jump. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Let's repeat. Bring your hands to the chest. Now you know the steps. Take a longer stance. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right leg out. Turn the back leg in. Observe the alignment of your heel and the arch of the back leg. Bring them in line. This time, engage your arms. That means bring them in line with your shoulders. Allow them to go down while lifting the chest, and observe your torso. Bring them in the center. Then while maintaining this alignment, bend your leg, go down. Exhale as you press your foot and come up. 3 more rounds. Inhale and go down. Exhale as you come up. 1 more round. Sorry, 2 more. Last round. Bring your hands back to your hips. Turn your feet in. Change. Let's do the opposite side. And make sure you have a broader stance between your legs, and your torso is pointing towards the wall at the front. Keep going. Bring your arms in line with your shoulders. Just have a look at your arms. Make sure they're in line with your shoulders. 2 more rounds. Inhale as you go down. Exhale as you press. Slowly turn your feet in. Bring your hands to your chest. Bend your legs. Jump or walk back into Tadasana. Take a breath here and we'll repeat. We'll get into the full pose. Bring your hands to your chest. Bend your legs. Jump or walk your legs wide apart. Take a broader stance. Turn the right leg out. Turn the left leg in. Raise your arms up. Bring them in line with your shoulders. Have a look at your arms. Make sure they are in line. Fingers extended towards the wall at your side. Now while maintaining this alignment, make sure your torso is in the center, not leaning towards the right. Bring it in line with the center. Bend your front leg, go down. This is going well. Then turn your head and have a look at your right hand. Allow your fingers to extend. Breathe. Don't hold the breath. Observe that left arm. Let it extend towards the wall at your left. Breathe. Don't hold the breath. And press that back foot. That means your left foot well onto the ground. Don't be heavy at the front foot. Bring the evenness of your body weight at the front and the back. Last breath here. Exhale as you press your foot onto the ground to come up. Turn your feet in. Bring your hands to your chest and bring your hands to your hips. Turn your left foot out. Turn the back leg in. Then raise your arms up. Once more. Observe the alignment of your arms. Observe the alignment of your heel and the arch of the back leg. Once you are stable, then bend your front leg and go down. Turn your head and have a look at your left hand. If you are finding to stay stable in the pose, then just keep looking at the front. See if that helps. Otherwise, bring your hands on your hips. Breathe. Don't hold the breath. Extend your right arm towards the wall at your right, at your side. Bring that torso, your trunk in the center. You're building a lot of strength at your inner thigh, at the back of your thigh, in your glutes, and creating that flexibility in your back leg, more opening in your hamstrings, at the back of your knee. Exhale as you press your left foot on the ground, straighten your leg, come up, turn your head to look at the front, turn your feet in so that your toes are pointing towards the front. Bring your hands to your hips, then hands to your chest, bend your legs, and back to Tadasana. Feet together. Breathe. Don't hold the breath. We use Tadasana, mountain pose, to calibrate our alignment. And through this action, we teach ourselves to scan our body into asana. Release and relax. I turn here sideways to give better view. You don't have to do it. Come back to Tadasana with feet hip width apart. We are progressing towards Utkatasana, chair pose, also called as fierce pose. Bring your hands to your hips and then bend your legs and bring your hips down towards the ground as if you're sitting on the chair behind you. Bring your knees together and your torso is away from the ground. Press your feet onto the ground as you exhale and come up. This time when you go down, imagine as if there is a chair slightly behind. So you are extending your hips back towards the wall behind to sit on the chair. Let's do it together. Bend your legs and sit back. Imagine as if there is a chair slightly behind. So you're moving your buttocks slightly towards the back. That means you're slightly heavy on your heels, but do not leave that connection of the ball of your foot and your toes with the ground. The strong grip from the back of your thighs, from your quads. Keep going down, knees together. Exhale as you press your feet and come up. Breathe, don't hold the breath. It's quite challenging. At your knees, at the quads, and building a lot of strength at the front of your thigh. That's what we want here. Now, this time when you go down, observe or pay attention to the arch that you create at your back. Okay, before that, let's do this exercise. Tilt your pelvis towards the front. That means show me how you create the arch at the back. So to create the arch at the back, you have to tilt your pelvis towards the front. I show it here once more. So this is my neutral position and I have to tilt my pelvis, that means lifting the buttocks up to create more arch at the back. And to get rid of that, what I need to do is move my buttocks down, lifting the front strap of my track pant up towards the chin to get rid of that arch. So that's exactly what we want when we get into the pose. So when you get into the pose, you want to move your buttocks down towards the ground to get rid of that arch to some extent so you have long torso, long trunk. Let's do it together. Bring your hands to your hips, bend your legs, sit down and back. Knees together, torso away from your thighs, and get stable in this position. That means you're not heavy at one side, pressing all the edges of your feet well onto the ground. Now bring your attention to your lower back. What you need to do to reduce the arch, moving those buttocks down towards the ground. See how that reduces the arch. If I lift my buttocks, just have a look, you don't have to do it. See how I create the arch, but if I move them down towards the ground, see how my back is straight. That's exactly what we want. Pressing your feet onto the ground, come up. Take a normal breath here and we'll repeat. This time, before you get into the pose, raise your arms up, Urdhva Hasta, and while maintaining this alignment, slowly bend your legs, knees together, torso away from the thighs, and moving the buttocks down. Look straight, arms straight at the elbows, fingers straight, don't curl your fingers, Relax your face. It's slightly heavy on your heels. See if you can go down a bit more. Challenge yourself, but to the extent you can. Exhale as you press your feet and come up. Come back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Well done. Release and relax. Come to the mat in kneeling position. Bring your knees hip width apart and tops of your feet onto the ground. Just have a look at your toes. They're pointing straight towards the wall behind. Then bring your hands onto your hips. Observe the alignment of your torso, your hip and thighs. They're all in one line. Now while maintaining this alignment, you're going back and coming forward. Just have a quick look here. You're not tilting the pelvis, moving the torso forward to go back. In that case, your thighs and your torso is not in one straight line. All right, let's do it together while maintaining one straight line. At your side, lean back, come forward. Yeah, it's quite intense on your front thighs, around your knee region. So be gentle at the start and then increase the range of your movement of going back with each repetition. 3, keep breathing, don't hold the breath. 4, you're building a lot of strength in your front thighs, around your knee region. That's what we want. 6, last 2 reps, go back. 7, and last one. 8. Come to the lying position, lie on your abdomen. Hands next to your chest, forehead onto the mat. Tuck your toes in. Lift your knees and move your heels towards the wall behind. And observe where your heels are. They're not rolling in or out. They're pointing straight towards the ceiling. Breathe, don't hold the breath. Slowly bring your knees to the ground. Press your hands and sit buttocks to the heels. Breathe. Pay attention to your breath. Your hands are shoulder distance apart. Just have a look at your hands. Bring even distance between your fingers, including your thumbs. Then move forward, bringing your shoulders on top of your wrist. From this tabletop position, while pressing your hands well onto the ground, lift your knees, walk your legs slightly forward, and come to downward dog. Breathe, don't hold the breath. Slowly bring your knees to the ground. Come to the tabletop position. Take a breath and we'll repeat. Go up. This time when you are in downward dog, pay attention to your heels. Make sure they are not tilted, pointing straight towards the wall behind. And don't force your heels to come onto the mat. Instead, allow the opening at the back of your legs to come gradually, and that will bring your heels more towards the ground direction. Moving your hips more towards the wall behind, slightly engage your abdomen. Come back to tabletop position, bringing your knees onto the mat. Take a breath and we'll repeat. Go back into downward dog. See if you can bring a bit more opening at the back of your knee by straightening your legs. And do not allow your legs to go dull. That means lifting the front of your thighs the skin just above your kneecap towards your hips. So having solid grip and stability from your legs into your hip region, and using that connection of your legs into your hips to move your hips back. Slowly come back to tabletop position. Take a breath and we'll repeat. Go back to downward dog. This time, bring your feet together. Keep breathing, don't hold the breath. From downward dog, we'll transition into Anjaneya Asana, low lunge pose. Raise your right leg and place it between your hands. If you can't place it between your hands, then reach to the point you can and then slide your foot between your hands. Your hands are next to your right foot onto the mat, your hands or the fingers. Choose the position that suits well. Left knee is on the ground and untuck your left foot, top of your left foot is onto the mat. If this is intense, take blocks and place them underneath your hands to reduce the intensity of the pose. Relax your face, relax your toes, and observe your back now. We do not want a rounded back. So bring your knee forward so that roughly 90 degrees between your shin and thigh, and your back is pretty much straight. No rounding at the back, instead it is straight. Breathe, don't hold the breath. Change. Come back to downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath here, feet together. And when you are ready, raise your left leg and place it between your hands or slide it between your hands. This time I'm not using the blocks, but feel free to use the blocks to reduce the intensity of the pose. Your right knee is on the ground, more opening at the chest, so moving the shoulders back, lifting your chest up towards the ceiling to get rid of that round at the back. Come back to downward dog. Take a breath and we'll repeat. Once more, place your right hand between your hands. Get stable here first. Untuck your toes. Look straight. If this is going well, slowly bring your hands onto your hips. Make sure you're balancing well. You're not leaning towards the right or left. So take your time to balance. Lift in the chest, shoulders going away from each other. Breathe, don't hold the breath. Now if this is going well, move your hips more towards your heel direction to increase the intensity of length that you are creating at the front of your thigh around your knee region. Keep breathing. Don't hold the breath. One more breath here. Take a deep inhale. Fill your lungs with air and slow exhale. Slowly bring your torso forward, bringing your hands onto the mat and change. Come back to downward dog. Take a breath. And when you are ready, slowly bring your left leg forward, right knee onto the mat, untuck your right toes, then get stable, bringing your hands to your hips. Get stable here first. Lift in the chest, shoulders away from each other and down, not lifting them up like this. Instead, let the shoulders go down. And once you are stable, then moving your hips more towards your heel direction. That means this knee is passing the ankle joint. That's absolutely fine. Don't hold it, so that if you are like holding your knees in line with your ankle joint or not letting it go away, go forward, then you wouldn't be able to move your hips forward. To allow your hips to move forward, that knee has to pass the ankle joint. Take a deep breath. Feel that expansion at the chest, at the side of your chest when you take a deep breath, and slow exhale under control. Feel the exhale in your nose, in your throat, and slowly moving the torso forward to bring your hands onto the mat. Go back to downward dog. Take a breath here, and we'll repeat. Last time, Anjaneya Asana. Bringing the right leg forward. Now you know the drill. Left knee onto the mat. Untuck your toes. Bring your hands to your hips. Choose the option that suits you well, so that you maintain the right intensity of the pose that suits you. If this is going well, then raise your arms up, bringing your hips forward, allowing that right knee to go forward. Looking straight, slow and steady breath. Slowly bring your hands onto your hips, go forward, bring your hands onto the mat, back to downward dog. Take a breath here. And when you are ready, let's do the opposite side. Gentle movements. Once you are stable, raise your arms up. Arms are straight, fingers pointing towards the ceiling. Bring your thumbs in line with your other fingers. Make sure arms are not bent at the elbows. And don't lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Allow them to go down, but don't jam them. Don't force them too much towards the ground. Let them gently come down towards the ground. Now be moving your hips towards the heel or towards the forward, allowing that left knee to go forward, increasing the stretch at the left front hip and the front of your left thigh, building a lot of strength and flexibility there. Slowly bring your hands onto your hips, move forward, bring your hands onto the mat, go back to downward dog. Feet hip width apart. Stay in a downward dog for 3 breaths. Take a deep breath here. Feel your lungs to their max capacity, and slow exhale as if you are saying Om. Make it long exhale. Slowly come to tabletop position, and now lie on your back. We'll do the variation of Jatara Parivartanasana, revolved abdominal pose. Lie on your back. Bring your hands in line with your shoulders. Lift your feet so that your knees are over your hip. Knees together, feet together. Now, while maintaining this alignment, move your knees towards the right and let them go all the way towards the ground. If this is too intense, then take a block and place it next to your hip. I will just show it. If you are in the pose, stay there. This is too intense. Take a block. If you have a block or a rolled blanket, any blanket at home will do. Place it next to your right hip or the side that you're doing. I'll just keep it to my left to show you, and then move your knees towards the ground. So block is stopping you from going further and reducing the intensity of the pose. That's exactly what we want in this case. Find the option that suits you well. I'm not using the blocks here. Stay here in the pose. If you are already there for longer, then slowly come up, bring your legs to the center and go towards opposite side. Slow and steady breath. Observe the difference between both the sides. You may experience one side has more tension in comparison to other. Don't hold the breath and don't force your top side of your rib cage or the shoulder towards the ground. Let that opening comes slowly. Focus more on your breath. Slow exhale. Once more. Go towards opposite side. Slow movements here. We are using this variation of Chathara Parivartanasana, revolved abdominal pose, as a cooling pose. Experience the sensations that you're feeling in your lower back, at your outer hip, in your abdomen, at the top side of your rib cage, and your upper back, in your shoulder. Just pay attention towards the sensations. Come back to the center. Go towards the left. Relax your jaw. Slowly come back to the center and then bring your feet onto the mat. Straighten your legs. Bring your hands at your sides. Wiggle your legs side by side to release any tension or tightness. Time to practice deep state of rest, Shavasana. Just stop wiggling your legs. Maintain them to the position that suits well for Shavasana. That means rolling in or out. Don't maintain any hold on your legs or on your arms. Arms are at your sides, palm facing towards the ground or the ceiling. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and slow exhale as if you are letting any hold on your body to disappear. Once you finish, come back to normal breath. Shavasana is also called as corpse pose. Bring your attention to the sensations that you're feeling in your feet, in your legs, in your hip region, your abdomen. Allow your back to settle on the mat. Don't maintain any hold at your back. Let it completely sink into the mat. Allow your shoulders to relax, your arms along with your shoulders. to melt into the mat. That means you're not maintaining any hold on your arms. Any frown lines at the forehead, let them go. Relax your jaw. With each inhalation, observe how the air is passing through your nose, through your throat, into your chest and abdomen. And the attention to this sensation imagine as if there is no form or shape to your body. And now, when you are distracted by the thoughts, pay attention to the thought itself. Bring your attention back to your breath. Bend your arms and bring your hands on your abdomen next to your lower front ribs. Bend your legs and bring the soles of your feet onto the mat. Turn to your side and stay here for a moment before you come up. Take support of your hands, and while maintaining your eyes closed, gently come up and sit in cross-leg position. Use your hands beside your hips to sit tall, sit upright. Lifting through your lower back, mid back and upper back, extending your torso towards the ceiling. And slowly bring your hands to your chest in Namaskar Mudra, prayer position. Thumbs are on your sternum and fingers slightly away from your thumbs. Fingers together. Inhale and lift the torso up towards the ceiling. Exhale and allow your shoulders to go down and back. Any frown lines at the forehead, let them go. Take this opportunity to thank yourself for being engaged in the practice to build strength and flexibility in your legs. Celebrate this small win of your day with gentle smile on your face. Slowly bring your chin towards the chest, move your head forward. Namaste and thank you. Move your head back, open your eyes, release your hands onto your thighs. If you like today's video, please give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment in comment section. This way, I know what content you like and what content to create more. And it also helps others to stay engaged in the practice. Bye for now.